Hello, my name is May and welcome to my February reading wrap. So in this video, I'm going to be talking you guys through a few of the books that I read last month. If you're wondering what happened to my hair, you can see the whole painful procedure in the last video. But without further ado, let's get on to book number 1. We're kicking it off strong with my favourite book of last month, A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik. I fudging loved it. I'm gonna get the rating out of the way. 5 out of 5 stars. It was so good. So I have read Naomi Novik before. I really hope I'm saying her name right. I read Uprooted quite a few years ago, and honestly I wasn't a massive fan of her. I liked it well enough, but I wasn't like you guys probably were when you saw the eye-shattering colours of my jumper today. But I thought I'd check this one out when I saw the very talented Pierce Brown post it on his Instagram story. A Deadly Education is basically about a magic school, but not your Hogwarts type magic school. This is a school that is essentially trying to kill its students. And without giving too much away about the plot, it is one of the more original book ideas I've come across in a really long time. I think especially with books about magic schools, it's so hard to stray into the Harry Potter realm. But this one was so far removed from Harry Potter. Beautiful. The relationship between the two main characters, Elle and Orion, is amazing. I haven't loved a character dynamic that much in a very long time. And goddamn was it written well. This one is definitely on my recommended list for this month. She's also already announced the second one, so I am so excited to read it. All in all, I loved it. Let's move on to book number 2. I don't have a copy of this one, but the next bit we're going to talk about is Serpent, Thorn by Melissa Bashardoust. I'm 100% saying that name wrong. I'm very sorry. Serpent, Thorn is a fairy tale-esque story based on a girl who is poisonous to the touch. Interesting concept, but not something we haven't seen before. In fact, this whole book reminded me of various different books that I'd already read. Although different in storylines, I could see a heavy influence of Lani Taylor, who is one of my favourites. All in all, I thought the book was pretty meh, leaving it at a 3 out of 5 stars. It's not that I didn't enjoy it, because it was well written and the characters were quite likeable, but it was nothing to write home about. If you're looking for a nice, simple, fairly enjoyable read, give it a shot. But as I said, it is quite reminiscent of other books that have already been written of a similar genre. It is, however, based off of Persian fairy tales, so that was definitely something that I found interesting while reading this book. We also get a huge acknowledgement to the LGBTQ community, which is always wonderful to see in new books. Moving on to book number 3. The Deathless Girls by Kiran Millwood Hargrave. This is the only one that's going to contain spoilers, so if you do want to read it, I will leave a time code down below so you can skip on past it. Vampires? What the f***? What about the blurb of this book indicates there's going to be vampires? In particular, the brides of Dracula. I'm sorry, what? Where did this come from? It's about 2 twin girls who are captured by this evil baron overlord person to go and be slaves in his fort, palace, castle thing. And then there's Dracula. I'm so confused. Honestly, I kind of liked it. Up until the point it was Dracula, in comparison to the other books that we're talking about today, it was considerably younger. I believe the 2 girls are 17, so we're verging on the lower end of YA fiction, but it was still enjoyable. The writing was quite simple, but it was also quite poetic. The author has a really nice flow to their writing, but the characters were a little bit underwhelming. The jump from no mention of vampires to Dracula was quite drastic. Where did it come from? Let me reread this blurb. The breathtaking origin story of the brides of Dracula. It says it on the back, I was just being thick. My apologies. Okay, so it does say it on the back. Even so, there is a very small amount of story progression leading up to the point where they become the brides of Dracula. And for that reason, 3 out of 5 stars. Of course, we all know the title of book number 4. Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas. Now, I have already done an extended review of A Court of Silver Flames, so if you do want a more in-depth version of my opinion, go and check out that video. But for anyone still considering if they want to read it or are considering reading A Court of Thorns and Roses for the very first time, read the original trilogy. Before you pick up this, consider if you are an erotic fantasy lover. If you're not, don't read it. If you are not but want to read it because Sarah J. Maas wrote it, read it for the last 100 pages. If you've never read a Sarah J. Maas novel before, read Throne of Glass. It's a better series. All in all, a lot of sex, not a lot of anything else. The last 100 pages bumped this book up to a 4 out of 5 stars. To be honest, I think that is generous, and I have only given that because it is Sarah J. Maas. And the last book of the month, book number 5. We got Law by Alexandra Bracken. Alexandra Bracken, I've never read one of your books before, but congratulations, you got a solid 4 out of 5 stars. I really liked it. Law is based on traditional Greek mythology, and in this book we see the descendants of traditional Greek heroes playing a game called the Agon. Probably pronouncing that incorrectly. Every 7 years, Zeus punishes the gods and makes them mortal, and the ancient bloodline descendants try to kill them. Now, I'm interested in Greek mythology, but I don't know a huge amount about it, so I don't know how accurate some of the plot points are as we come across various Greek gods. My boyfriend, on the other hand, could absolutely school me in Greek mythology. Weird flex, but okay. Honestly, I really liked it. I really liked all of the characters in this book, from the protagonist to the antagonist. It also had some really unexpected plot twists, which is always nice to see because I am a sucker for guessing the end of books. Also, the main goddess we come into contact with is Athena, who is my favorite. I did give Law the same rating as A Court of Silver Flames, but honestly I enjoyed it more, and I would definitely recommend this one over this one. I'm full of surprises, wow. But that is it, you guys, the end of my February reading wrap up. I'll leave you with my current read, which is Jade City by Fondly. So if you're interested, this will be included in my March reading wrap up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more bookish content. I upload new videos every single Sunday. My darling flowers, stay wild, stay free, and I will see you all later.